Hello everyone, welcome back to the English Dojo channel. Today we're going to read chapter 1 of the book called Sister Love. If you like gossip, you're going to love this book. Sister Love, chapter 1. Marcia met Howard Collins at church. Marcia was 35 years old. Howard was 41. Howard lived with his mother in a small house on the south side of town. Marcia lived with her sister and father in an apartment 3 streets away. Marcia did not work. Her father, George Grant, was ill and never left the apartment. He stayed in bed most of the time and always needed somebody with him. So Marcia stayed at home with her father and only went out when her sister Corinne was in the house. The two sisters were very different. Marcia was short with a small round face and short black hair. Corinne was 10 years younger. She was tall, had long brown hair, and good legs and a suntan all through the summer. People often said to Marcia, "Your sister is very beautiful." There were always lots of men ready to take Corinne out to dinner or to the cinema. But Marcia stayed at home. Corinne worked in a shop in the town. When she was at home, she liked to sit up on the roof garden of their apartment building. It was one Sunday in May when Marcia came home with Howard for the first time. She took him to see her father. George Grant was in bed. He had gray hair and a gray face. Sometimes he read a book, but mostly he just sat in bed and watched television. "This is Howard, Father," Marcia said. "He works at the hospital and we met at church. I told you about him last week. Do you remember?" "No," her father said, and he turned his face away, back to his television. He was not interested in new people or his daughter's friends. Just then, Corinne came into the room. She wore a white bikini and white shoes. She smiled at Howard. "So, you're Howard," she said. "My big sister has got a boyfriend at last." Howard's face went red, and he looked down at his feet. Corinne laughed. "Come on up to the roof garden and have some wine. The sun is wonderful this morning." Howard began. Marcia looked angrily at her sister, but then she said, "Yes, I must get father a drink. See you in a minute, Howard. Go up to the roof and talk to Corinne." The sun was hot on the roof, and Howard took off his coat. He looked around. There were 3 chairs, a sun umbrella, a sunbed, and a table with 3 glasses and a bottle of wine on it. There were tiles on the floor, and next to the little wall around the edge of the roof, there were some flowers in boxes. This was the garden. "Very nice," said Howard. Corinne smiled at him. "We don't see any good-looking men up here," she said. "Sit down and have a drink." Howard's face went red again. He gave a shy little laugh. Thank you," he said. He tried not to look at Corinne's long, suntanned legs, but it was not easy. "I come up here all the time when it's sunny," Corinne said. She began to put suntan oil on her arms and legs. Howard watched. Then Marcia arrived, and the 3 of them sat in the sun and drank wine. Marcia looked at Howard with love in her eyes. She did not look at Corinne. Corinne watched them. Her eyes went from her sister to Howard and back again to her sister. She smiled. It was not a nice smile. That's the end of chapter 1. If you want to know what happens in chapter 2, please listen to the next episode. Bye!